I've always wanted to say this. All rise. Good afternoon and welcome everyone to this meeting of the Rotary Club of Gainesville on Tuesday, January 12th, 2021. My name is Tom Collette, your Sergeant at Arms. For our guests, please identify yourself in the chat if you're joining us via Zoom. If you're watching this after the fact on YouTube, we need you to register your participation by sending an email to info@rotarygainesville.org. Are you ready to start our meeting today, everyone? I know one young man who's ready to start the meeting. He leads us in song, and he leads us in the pledge. Peace. Oh, it says Pet Enwall here. Wait a minute. Pete Enwall, you're up with song and pledge. Just give him a hand.
Well, you've already been thanked for your patience. I'm going to thank you for your patience again. So many people don't know that I used to have a fear of hurdles, but I got over it. And many people don't know that the Cade Museum came up with a brand new invention, an innovation. It's a new kind of broom. And you may not know this, it's sweeping the nation right now. Okay, we're going to sing. We're going to sing Acapulco again, and maybe with, yeah, ole. And so we're going to sing God Bless America. And so I'm going to start. I don't know the name of the key, but it's. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. You're very patient. There is no flag on the screen. Okay. Yep. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And now for our invocation, please welcome to the podium, live and in person, Lori Vidal.
I want you to know this is the first time in a long time I've been to a Rotary meeting and been dressed from this section down. So, yeah. So, anyway, hey, let's join our hearts together as we pray. We gather again today with a sense of the limitations that have become normal in our lives for the present, and we long to be set free. So to speak, to return to the activities that have enriched our lives through the years. We sense, oh God, a designer who oversees our lives, and we come to you to ask your assistance to guide us in all that we are doing. You have granted us some level of influence in our community as a club. Show us how to use it wisely. May we increase our impact for good. We do long right now, in light of recent activities, for a sense of peace and civility in our state and nation. So effective relationships can open up powerful dialogue for change and progress, where change and progress is needed. May we join our hearts together, asking for a smooth transition of government. May we see a clear, strong expression of the rule of law within our nation so we can move forward together. Use us today to that end as we meet. And may we enjoy one another today. May we seek unity and peace as we look to the future, I pray, in your strong name. Amen.
Anyone here with a guest today? You have a guest? Let me bring the microphone. Oh, we have a microphone in the back. Let's make sure we got it working. You ready with them, Don, back there?
Louise Anderson. My guest is Louise Anderson, fellow Rotarian from the St. Augustine Club. Louise actually used to live here in Gainesville, and small world thing. That's why you always got to be nice to everybody. Louise and I actually worked together at formerly Davis Monk, now Carr Riggs in Ingram, where she is a CPA and partner. Louise is my guest via Scott Winsler. So my next guest, this is Jerry Benton. Jerry is the CEO of Campus USA Credit Union. Please welcome him. There we go.
And I have spotted some more guests in the room. Go ahead. Your name first and your guests.
Sorry, took off my glasses and everything. I have with me today two co-workers from the chamber. I have Vicky Gervikis, who is our public policy grassroots manager, and Steve Cannon, who is the VP of membership.
Thank you very much, Ian. Online, I have a list of folks who are visiting us today via Zoom. Rich Blazer, Darren Cook, Mike Warren, James Coates, and Sydney Watson. Let's give them a nice round of applause for joining us via Zoom today. Now we hand the meeting over to your president, everybody. Please welcome to our podium today. Oh, we have one more.
Well, I'm
Sorry about that. I didn't see it, Tony.
I'm Tony Barr. I want to introduce Stephanie Bales. She's a new member to be. She is also director of the Cade Museum. So we have her to thank for this venue.
Thank you, Stephanie. Welcome to our meeting. Now we move on to Matthew Brady, everybody.
All right, if you have not already seen me up here sweating enough, here I am again. So we're going to fast forward and quickly bypass announcements. They're very important, but we have a very important program. And we'll kick those announcements for next week and bring some exciting news, drawing, and other announcements that you'll want to be a part of. So let's look forward to that. Yes, thank you, Stephanie. This is an amazing venue. You know, with technology, we keep trying to tweak, and so glitches happen. And today, you know, it's stressful, okay? When you've got everybody looking in and you want to provide the best venue, it's stressful. But I want to thank everybody for rolling up their sleeves and making it happen. We're live, we're going. There's still a little bit of lighting. I'm getting some announcements. It's not exactly perfect, but you know what? We're here, and everybody sitting here is healthy, and everybody zoomed in is healthy. And that's a blessing. And let's be ready for a great program. And at this time, I'm going to hand it over to Bob Mounts via Zoom to lead today's program. Thank you.
All right, I'm unmuted. And thank you for restoring some of the time on the game clock. And first, I want to tell Pete Inwall that, yes, I happily paid that $5 fine for her birthday last week. That's nothing compared to my old club in Seoul, where we charge by the year of your age. So that would be $79. Okay. The Ethics in Business Award is founded principally on our four-way test, especially the first two portions of that. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? And some of you may know that lawyers are probably the most regulated profession of any profession. And Rotary was started by a lawyer, Paul Harris. Recently, I was affirmed again just how great that is, because the trust we put in lawyers to do so many things. Like recently, we downsized to a condo, went through another closing, and very complicated, didn't read it all the documents, trusted my lawyer to get it right. And it was all done. And just yesterday, 2 months later, I received a refund check from the other party's lawyer for an overpayment of property taxes. I didn't know I was going to get that, but they did it right. So that's the how they implement, the four-way test in the legal profession most of the time. The members of the committee include Scott Wensler, our chair, who's here on Zoom, David Nicholson, Don Davis, Helen Gilstrom, Frank Mason, Joe Anderson, Susan Crowley, and myself. This year, the Ethics in Business Award Committee received 5 outstanding nominations, any one of which would be highly deserving of this prestigious award. The committee would like to thank all those who submitted a nomination, as well as Ms. Sydney Watson and the business ethics ambassadors at the U.S. Warrington School of Business who conducted the interviews. Sydney is with us in the meeting today on Zoom, and I'd like to acknowledge her at this time. The nominees are, first of all, in alphabetical order, Jerry Benton, nominated by Louise Anderson of the Rotary Club of St. Augustine, who is with the firm of Carr, Riggs, and Ingram. Jerry Benton was nominated for his leadership as CEO, Campus USA Credit Union, which has grown into a $2 billion enterprise with over 100,000 members and 18 locations. For 3 consecutive years under his leadership, Campus USA has been recognized with the highest possible audit grades while maintaining a customer loyalty and satisfaction score of over 90%. According to Louise, "Let's do the right thing" is his mantra. It's not about making the most money, it's about doing the right thing. At his direction, the Campus USA Credit Union Foundation has donated over $600,000 to the Children's Miracle Network, the American Heart Association, United Way, and countless other charities. He promotes ethics in the workplace through his treatment of his employees and a strong mission statement which empowers his employees to make a difference. Could Jerry Benton and Louise Anderson, who are in the room, stand and be recognized at this time? And you can clap. Next is Rich Blazer and Darren Cook, nominated a second time by Hillary Turlington, an employee of Infinite Energy, who could not be here today. The co-founders of Infinite Energy, which recently has been sold, Rich and Darren are credited with cultivating a rich culture of ethical business standards that are integrated from top to bottom. Among other things, the company's culture statement expects employees to follow a moral path and to ask themselves first and foremost whether any decision the company asks them to make would go against their basic moral values. If it does, they should not do it. Instead, explain the problem to their supervisor and, if necessary, take it up the chain. Among many other achievements, these leaders sent around 300 employees home the first week of March 2020, where they are still working from the safety of their homes to this day. At this time, please recognize Darren Cook and Rich Blazer, who are attending via Zoom. In fact, Rich is just back from the doctor's office, I understand, where he had his COVID vaccine. And I had mine on Sunday, first one. Next, James Coates, nominated by Rotarian Kevin Thorpe. James Coates is president of Phalanx Defense Systems, LLC, a company which pushes the limits of engineering and design in the creation of truly innovative armor safety products for the law enforcement, fire and rescue, and public sectors. Kevin writes that James Coates is a philanthropic community partner and a true lover of Gainesville citizens. Upon the expansion of his successful defense system business, he deliberately relocated his campus to the heart of East Gainesville, an underserved community which desperately needs economic investment. His passion for our local youth and the upward mobility of hardworking residents is said to be unmatched. At this time, please recognize James Coates and his nominator, Kevin Thorpe, who are attending via Zoom. Next is Eric Godet, nominated Rotarian Ian Fletcher. Eric current president and CEO of the Greater Gainesville Chamber of Commerce, is credited with being our region's most enthusiastic cheerleader and mentor. Eric was a founding member of RTI Biologics, one of our region's most successful startups, and was a vice president of organizational advancement for Haven Hospice. His dedication to the chamber is said to be, quote, legendary, unquote, having served in every volunteer capacity. He urged people to look beyond their differences, saying, quote, one point of commonality, however small, gives us something to build on, and together we can only win, close quote. During the ongoing pandemic, Eric has been a calming voice for his employees, businesses, and policymakers in an effort to help them understand and interpret the science and about the ongoing epidemic. Could Eric Godet and Erin Fletcher please stand and be recognized? I see them in the room. Finally, it's Mike Warren, nominated by Rotarian David Wilson of Renaissance Bank. Mike Warren is a general contractor, real estate developer, real estate manager, and investor. Wilson says that Mr. Warren adheres to the highest standards of honesty, integrity, and consistency in dealing with employees, colleagues, contractors, customers, and neighbors, and that, quote, his word is his bond, close quote. Mr. Warren has been a tireless member of the Builders Association of North Central Florida and has volunteered numerous times to get into the details of legislative issues or local ordinances to make sure that common sense prevails with an eye towards safety and the highest professional standards. Through his ownership of various investment properties, he has provided space for numerous Gainesville businesses. Wilson writes that Mr. Warren has been a straight shooter throughout more than 20 years of personal acquaintance, and that he never speaks negatively of anyone. He was very highly rated by the UF Business Ethics Ambassadors. Could Mike Warren and his nominator, David Wilson, who are attending via Zoom, be recognized? And now Committee Chairman Scott Wensler, also in Zoom, will announce the winner of the Ethics in Business Award.
Well, thank you, Robert. Alas, it falls on me as chair of the Ethics in Business Committee to announce the winner, which means, of course, we will have 4 incredibly worthy nominees who did not win. Well, as the ethics professor once told the arts major, we have to draw the line somewhere. Before I announce this year's winner of the Ethics in Business Award, I wanted to first thank all of the nominators, the people who took the time to compose the nominations. This takes thoughtful consideration of what ethical business behavior is and who within their networks best exemplifies that. And then putting all that into writing as part of the nomination form. So hats off and a big thank you to Hillary, Ian, Kevin, Louise, and David. And of course, I want to thank all the nominees for allowing their names to be considered and undergoing the interview process with our UF Ethics Ambassadors. And think about it for a minute. Some of the nominees have been through this process multiple times. These individuals all have busy schedules, and the fact that they not only took the time to attend the interviews, but also to reflect on the principles of what ethical business behavior means to them, and then went on to articulate it, speaks volumes to their character and how important the subject is to them. This collective focus on ethics strengthens our community and makes me proud to be a member of it. It is my hope that these nominees whose names are not to be announced as the winner will be willing to have their names put forward for consideration again next year. At this time, it is my honor to announce the co-winners of the 2021 Rotary Ethics in Business Award, Rich Blazer and Darren Cook. As they have recently sold their company, the committee felt that this was a now or never opportunity to recognize them for their many achievements promoting ethical behavior at Infinite Energy. Please welcome them as they have both joined us on Zoom and extend to them the club's sincere congratulations. Would you guys like to say a few words?
Go ahead, Rich.
Yeah, I wanted to thank the Rotary for recognizing us for this award. You know, it's one of the things that Darren and I really strive to in our businesses, to run the business ethically. And one of those things for me, whenever I think about how I run a business ethically, is the thought process is this: I want to be happy with the image that's staring back at me in the mirror every single day. And so for every decision I make, I want to make sure that I'm making that decision. So when I'm looking back and seeing this image that's staring back at me in the mirror, that I want to be happy with what I see, because I'm the one that knows what I've done. And so I've always tried to live my life that way. And Darren and I, from the very beginning, grew our business together that way. And for me, you know, I really won the business lottery when I partnered with Darren. The value of having somebody that has the same morals, ethics, and integrity with you, running the business on a day-to-day and growing the business. So the value for us for that was, for 26 years of running the company, not 1 second of one day did I ever have to think about what he was doing, where he was going, what he was saying, and trying to, you know, think that there was any negative energy in the company. And so removing all of that has been an amazing piece for the two of us of growing Infinite over these 26 years. And once again, really thank you so much for this award and recognition, especially for business and ethics. Thank you.
All right, Rich, and right back at you on all of that. As far as couldn't ask for a better business partner who shared our values. I always tell folks that when you start a business, it doesn't matter how smart you are. You know, it matters what values you hold. Unfortunately, Rich and I, when we met each other, started a business, and we had a similar values. So it's I was so lucky to have that. You can tell by the way that that I am now unemployed because I'm wearing my unemployed attire. So that's a T-shirt that says California on it. And Rich, you're doing a little better than me, I guess. I think you're employed. Rich has gotten another co-CEO job with a company called Vet Comp and Penn, which I know he's been a part of for some time, supporting. So congratulations on that, Rich. What I want to do really quickly is just give a short story on what I thought as far as the integrity of our company, how that was represented through this story. A few years ago, when the polar vortex came down, we have many customers in Atlanta, and it was going to get down to, I think, like the low teens or the upper like 12 to 13 degrees. And we have an outsourcer that turns our natural gas customers on, which they use to heat their home. So without heat, it's a potentially life-threatening condition. So we had about 100 customers due to be turned on that day for natural gas service. And our outsourcer told us, hey, the roads are icy. It's dangerous for us to go out and turn those customers on. Now, obviously, this isn't our fault. We could have just stopped right there and said, hey, you know, I'm sorry, call the customer. We're not going to be able to get your natural gas on. Try to stay warm somewhere else, or try to stay safe. Now, some of these people obviously don't have the means or place to go, perhaps. You know, I tell people that when you think of it, it's not my fault, that stops the thinking. So what you have to say instead is, how can I help the customer? How can I help them from this life-threatening condition? And because I'm so proud of our people, because our people came up with the idea of, why don't we offer them a hotel credit to be able to go find a hotel room for that night in life-threatening condition? And that's how I knew that our culture permeated our company, because they came up with that and they implemented it. We had, most of the people didn't take us up on it, but we had about 13 or 14, if I'm not mistaken, take us up on that free hotel room for that night so that they could stay warm and avoid a life-threatening condition. So I think that exemplifies what was happening in our company. And I just can't say enough about those people. I want to thank you for the honor you bestow on me, but really it's for the people of Infinite, because they certainly did walk the walk. So thank you very much. I'm honored, and I hope to re-enter the workforce at some future point.
Well, thank you, Rich, and thank you, Darren, for your leadership in the community, for all the efforts that you have put in. And I hope the next phase in your life is going to be exciting and rewarding, whatever that may turn out to be. Wanted to also extend our congratulations to Darren's mother, our fellow Rotarian, Mary Crane, who we know must be very proud of her son. As all of the nominees were quite outstanding, the committee also hopes, again, that people who did not win this year will reapply or be allowed to have their names put into nomination again next year. These awards will again be presented at the annual meeting of the Chamber of Commerce. So please let the club come together, put your hands together, and give a final round of applause for all of our nominees and for Rich and for Darren.
Very good. There we go. All right. Darren and Rich, much congratulations. I know from being in the community, you two and your company have set a standard and a legacy for many of us to follow. And as mentioned by Scott, you each will receive individual recognition, but you also both will be placed on this plaque with preceding winners of the Ethics and Business Award that stays on display at the Gainesville Regional Airport. So this will be completed in the days ahead, and it will be there for the future in recognition of this honor. Thank you. And I'll be redundant, but I'm looking at this list, and I know the other individuals, our fellow Rotarian Eric Gaudet, James Coates, who has spoken to us before, Mr. Jerry Benton, I've known for many years, Mike Warren. These are all incredible, highly ethical business people that make Gainesville such an awesome place to be. And when I first saw this list yesterday, and I was like, wow, that's an impressive list, and because they're each very impressive individuals. And we're honored that you were willing to be considered for this. And thank you so much for that and being a part of today's meeting. And we appreciate it very much. One final round of applause for all of the nominees. So before we wrap up, real quick, thank you for all the team, Wes, Don, Tom. I mean, again, thank you. It's we will continue to get better. We have, and it's just amazing that we're able to provide this venue and this format. This format in this amazing venue. So, before I end with a quote, I thought it would be great, based on the Ethics and Business Award today, as it was mentioned earlier, it was based off the premise of the four-way test. So if everyone who knows the four-way test, and I'm going to cheat and look down at this piece of paper, if you would say that as a group along with me. So I got to recognize the fact they're going to see me looking down top. So I'm going to call it what it is. And I was telling the board last night, just in the past 3 months, The readers have kicked my butt. So I'm going to put on the readers and we're going to go with the 4-way test. Here we go. Of the things we think, say, or do,
Is it
is
true?
it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill? Will be beneficial to all concerned? Good job. Round of applause. So if you're on Zoom, you probably did not hear it all because I stepped away from the mic because the crowd was doing such a good job with that. So as we end, Mary Kate, some were doing better than others. But anyways, as we end this meeting, quote for today, the time is always right to do what is right. Martin Luther King. Everybody, have a great week. Thank you.